if we could come in and teach the Constitution in the classroom. Particularly September the 17th is Constitution Day, and by law, the Constitution is supposed to be taught on Constitution Day. So we got a very good response. And Roger O'Sullivan and Dorian Buckles went around with me, and we did a PowerPoint presentation that was about an hour long. And we just showed some video, some pictures with a PowerPoint. And our school board member, Larry Kabrovsky, when he heard that we were going to do this, offered to give a pocket constitution, donate a pocket constitution to every child who took our Constitution lesson. And I think, Larry, you bought 1,200. And when I approached him again about doing it, and hopefully we can branch out into Berkeley and Dorchester County too, he said he would do that again this year. But we would like for folks to help us. We set it up with the teachers, and whatever time during the school day that we can get an hour, they will let us come in and do our presentation. So if anybody would like to help, please let me know, or email Kathy maybe, and we can set something up. We're going to ask for that for September, start doing that in September. And I think that's all I wanted. Was that all I'm supposed to talk
Would
about?
anybody like to volunteer right now?
Ah, okay, great.
Essie, that is wonderful. Essie.
And John?
Yes, and Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, all right. And somebody else.
Debbie said they had the best reception,
Okay.
by the students and the teachers. So I was thrilled.
Yeah, and we introduced some South Carolina history too. One of the signers was Rutledge, and they're like, "Oh, Rutledge Avenue."
Yes, Chris
Yeah.
Weatherhead would be wonderful.
I'm like,
I saw Jean, There she is. I thought I would see Chris walking right behind you. Well, Jean would be great too.
we don't have it on YouTube, but we talked about showing that here, just doing like a part of the meeting, but it's an hour long. So, but for the older kids, we did more in the elementary grades, and they were very receptive and did a good job with that. Roger was wanting more to do the older kids, particularly the kids, the Bill of Rights. They're very interested in what these rights are, and yeah, they like to know that some of what they hear, what's really true and what's not, that kind of thing. And also, Tea Party Patriots, I think, donated these to us and their little coloring books, and we've taken the pages and done a sheet for each page so that the teachers can take these afterwards and do, have a little print, however many copies she wants of the pages, to do a little class from that. But yeah, we could use some help if you guys think it'd be a good idea, and hopefully Linda, Ensore with her group, and some of the others we'll be glad to share that, and maybe we could do something to put it on YouTube. I've got a question of some copyright pictures maybe that I need to check out before I put it out. But for showing locally and not to make money or anything.
Well, I know we have an artist here tonight, so I do want us to get to the point where we can stand up and introduce ourselves, because I don't see him right now, and maybe he had to leave. But he does, what would I call it? Historical artwork. I mean, he does the most fabulous things I've ever seen, and so he may be willing to help us out. Dorian, please, it's Michael Griffin?
Michael Gilbert.
Gilbert, yes. I knew it was a G.
Paint Sovereign is the name of on his card. Paint Sovereign.
Well, this man emailed me, and I don't know how he got my email even, but anyway, he emailed and said that he'd like to come to this meeting, and that and he did have a motive, and it was that we were a constitutional group, and that he did this artwork for a living. He has, I went to his website, and it is phenomenal.
It
And
says
we-
on here, murals of U.S. historical documents, maps, spiritual cults, personal heritage, etc.
He does maps on walls. He does the most beautiful cursive writing, but it looks just like in the Declaration of it. He's phenomenal. So I don't think we need him to do anything like that for our little Constitution lessons, but just so we won't get in any trouble, maybe he could do a few little things for the PowerPoint. And so I'm glad he came, and I will send that out in an email so you all will know at least who he is and what website. I just would love for you to see what he does. Ken Battle is here to talk about his outreach activities, and he is about the busiest man I know. So please welcome Ken. And Bonnie Judge. That's up to y'all, however
I'll call them. How's that?
you can
I
call
like
her
to
when you
introduce
need.
That'd be great. Well, first of all, I want to thank everyone to be able to address you one more time. When I retired one June, I thought I'd have the opportunity, to get in a swim every day, to maybe visit with my grandkids a little bit more, sit at home, have that coffee in the morning, 9 o'clock. And,
You silly man.
well, what was I thinking?
Lord is mine.
But when God really placed this mantle on me, is how I'm looking at it, as a ministry. And Charleston Communities for Liberty is an outreach organization talking to the community, people, businesses, churches, about the things that we share, things that we have in common, more than the things that separate us. So I reached out, not just in the Charleston community, but I reached out across this nation to find out who else is doing this. Because one thing that I learned in the military is you never reinvent the wheel. Somebody's out there already working this. So why not find out what the template is and just create it and start to work it right here in Charleston. So what did I do? I reached out, and there were individuals that came to me, like Corrigan Vaughn out of Maryland, King Carl Smith out of Birmingham, and these folks started to feed me information. Jennifer Monroe, out of Birmingham, Alabama, feed me information about what was going on around the country and what we could do to support one another. And I got involved with what we call the Mission Possible Summit. And we've been working this Mission Possible Summit now for about 5 months. And the summit is going to be the 28th of September through October 5th. It's finally going to happen. And let me tell you a little bit about it. The summit is about patriots uniting to build a national network of candidates who will be guided by the Constitution, who will put people and principles over party and politics, and return this country to sovereignty and independence, and once again, speak as one nation under God. The reason we wanted to do that, to create that network of candidates, is because that hadn't been done before. Candidates out there all the time. They're learning. They want to run local government, county council, Congress, whatever. But usually, there's no network around to support them. And they haven't talked to anyone else across the country about how they're working that out. Well, we want this summit to be different and unique by bringing these candidates together so they can network with one another across the United States. But not just the candidates. You bring their families also. You bring their staff also. And everyone talks about these same principles. And we're not looking at incumbents. We're looking at individuals just like us, who may be the first time that they're running for an office. And they have no idea about what difficulties they're going to run into. And they don't know who else to talk to. But there are individuals out there that can help you. So by creating this network of candidates and network of individuals to support one another, So that no matter who gets elected, they can reach out for help. It helps support the entire country. And our focus then can be on people and principles. And we can get away from party and politics. And we can start to stand for the truth again. You know? And I speak this way because I'm passionate about the black community. I understand, it's my opinion that we're self-destructive. And I understand that the black community has to do something. They have to make a choice today, whether or not they want to change. I believe they're political schizophrenics, as K. Carl Smith believes. I understand that. But they're not going to change overnight. They're not going to change because I would like them to. But we can start to have a dialogue. And by having that dialogue, we can start to change our youth. And we can talk to them about what's important. We can talk to them about the importance of marriage, about the importance of education and employment, and the importance of honesty. By dealing with that today, then we can have a bright future tomorrow. And that's where I live. So there's a young man out there by the name of Ken Glasson. He's up in Maryland. And if you think that you may want to run for office, we're going to have a conference call so that we can all discuss this. And Ken, it's going to be probably August the 14th. That's what I'm looking at right now. But if you go onto Facebook and you look up Mission Possible Summit, that's where you'll find a lot of this information. So the Facebook page is up and running, and that's the best way to find it. If you log on to Facebook, you put in the search Mission Possible Summit, then it will pop up. Click on that, all the information will come out. Okay. And Ken Glasson is the individual that we made our focal point. And his number will be there, but I'm going to give you that number anyway. The number is 804, 247, 1469. That's 804, 247, 1469. And he can give you, if you call him anytime soon, he'll let you know when that conference call is going to be. And I would suggest, highly suggest, that you call him and just listen. Listen to the people that's going to be on that conference call. And try to determine whether or not the information that they're providing, and it's going to be nationwide, is going to help us here in South Carolina. But I appreciate that. The second thing that we wanted to talk about, Communities for Liberty is about building relationships. So in order to do that, eventually we're going to have to come together somewhere. You know, picnic, dinner, movie. Runaway Slave was great. It was a good start.
Yeah.
You know, that worked out great. As a matter of fact, I'm having an interview with two of the ministers that were there. We're going to talk about their perspective, and then we'll do an article. That article will be in the Low Country AP News. Okay, as a matter of fact, Low Country AP News is right there in the back table if anybody wants to take a copy. You know, it's written by individuals in our community, articles about what's happening. It has that Low Country flavor. So take a copy of that when you read. But Christ Gospel Church here on St. Philip Street is going to have a community field day. And that's going to be October the 19th. And it's at Utsey Park. West Ashland?
Orange Grove Road.
Okay, that's where it's going to be. And I'm looking to surprise that church. It is a black church. They asked me to help them with an event. They thought it was just going to be a picnic, and it's not. I've already talked with individuals who are going to bring out some Korean War memorabilia and artifacts. And there's an individual that's going to be in uniform talking about history. They can talk with the kids. So I'm going out to Patriot Point to ask for assistance in that area to see whatever I can find that deals with education and interaction and dialogue, you know, and having people there to just have conversations. So I'm basically going to set up stations so that the folks that show up, I get that wow factor. You know, they came for a hot dog and they get a whole lot more. So that's what we're looking for. That's going to be our October 19th. Okay? But the bottom line is, if we don't get out and interact, then nothing's going to change. And that's why that Frederick Douglass Liberty Messenger message is so important. Respect for the Constitution, respect for life, limited government, and personal responsibility. Those are the things that Frederick Douglass stood for. Those are the things that supported our country. Those are the things that most blacks forgot about. You know, they believe it, but they just don't vote that way. So we're working. We're trying to make that difference. And I really appreciate your support because you helped to make that happen. You know, I didn't say that you embarrassed pastors and teachers in the black community, but you made them stand up and take a look because they really didn't know what was going on. What is this? What happened? Who are these people in my neighborhood? But you made a difference. So I'm hoping to see you there. I'm hoping that you make that phone call to Ken Brolin and talk about that Mission Possible Summit because it is different. It is unique. It is something that we need to take a good look at. And something, you know, I'll ask pointed questions. Ask them. For a fact. For one reason, why is it? You know, this was my question. The Crystal Palace in the Bahamas, I know that's nice. But why is it out of the country? And he's getting back with me on that. But it's a real nice place. And if I can get there, I plan on going because he wants me on the working staff. So I plan on being there. But that was just something that I had to look at. Now, the next person I wanted to bring up, who has worked with me, and I'll kind of give you a little background on how this came about. Before I retired, the Lord had come to me and said I would be working with young girls 8 to 18 years old in this ministry. And I was like, yeah, right. How's that going to happen? So I was at our cross-cultural discussion group, and there was a young lady there by the name of Bonnie Judge. Dynamic, inspiring, gorgeous young lady who had a mission and a passion about talking and teaching young women. And I almost fell out of my chair. And from that day on, I've been working with her on any event and any project that I can assist her. So as I go to sit down, I want to introduce to you. Some of you know her, some of you don't. But Miss Bonnie Judge, and she has some things.
But one thing that I have to say in my journey here, I remember going, I had Tim Scott, who was going to come to speak for our group. And I remember coming to a meeting, and it was for, I think it was the Somerville Women of Republican. And I sat down, and I was looking there, and then I was just amazed how people got up when they're running for office, and they're like, you got to vote for me because I just know what the answer is. I know how to do it. I'm passionate. And I was like, this is how you do it? Is this how you change mindset? Is this how you change people's lives? And I would just, from there, I would just in tune. And so I haven't left Ms. Cheryl's side. She really has been there. And because I remember her, she's like, well, hold on, there's more to it. There's more up there. And so I'm excited about being here and just listening to the message. And I would not have said I was a Republican, but being in the group
has made me realize more and more that I am a Republican. My mindset is like a Republican, and I think and I speak like a Republican because I believe in hard work, I believe in this country, I believe in our children, I believe in leaving them a future that they deserve. And so when I think about what it meant that time, what it meant for me just to see what was happening and how it transformed just my outlook and just confirm a lot of things of what I feel about my life and why I'm here and my purpose. So I'm thankful for being here tonight. I wanted to share with you an event we have on October 4th. The event is bringing a lady who is from DC area. She's a woman who has ran for office in California. She started a business, she had a magazine business, and once, I think they had a hurricane, and it, basically she was just like Senator Bright. He said, well, you know, my business went down when something, you know, catastrophe happened, but they did not stay there. They continued to work. They found a different purpose. They found a way to reach other people and continue to still bring that message. And with that, she went from a welfare mom to a wealth builder, where a wealth builder, where she not only helped build up her wealth for herself, but her community, for churches, and so she's very inspiring. Her name is Star Parker. And I'm excited that she is willing to come to Charleston, and I'm excited that she's going to be able to encourage women that it's not how you start or where you start, but how you finish. And so it is important that we continue to give our young girls dreams. It's important to give even our middle women, you know, age women dreams, because a lot of times they get lost in that shuffle. They may not feel that they can do whatever, but she is truly an example of that. And so when I think about what I want to be when I grow up, so I'm excited that she'll be here on October 4th. We'll have her at the Marriott, which is downtown Charleston. We're going to have fun. We're going to do it as a masquerade ball, a gala where we'll dress up. Do people have to wear, masks? No, you don't have to. It's just a way to be social, because I realize in order to get people to really, really come out and just to have fun, you have to say it's a party. Yeah. And there's going to be food, and you get to dress fancy and things of that nature. So I'm encouraging you, if you're able to come out. The tickets are $50 for the tickets, and if you're interested, please let me know. I do have tickets available. But I think she will be such a dynamic speaker and inspiration for all those who are involved.
Bonnie, thank you so much. I did ask Bonnie to bring those tickets. I am so